The teams for MCC 32 just got finished being announced a few moments ago, and as always, these teams are great, like really great. Anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're excited for this MCC, and without further ado, let's just get right into the teams. Alright, so first up we have the Red Rabbits, with Antfrost, Rambo, AMZ, and Good Times with Scar, with Scott's method of 8,180. Now this team's actually pretty cracked. Antfrost has been on a tear lately, becoming an S tier and one of the best players in all of MCC. Rambo hasn't played in the last, I think, 2 events or something like that, but yeah. Rambo might be a little bit rusty, but all around I think he'll be pretty good, and he gets another chance to dress up, so there's that too. So I think Rambo actually is gonna have a really good event this event. I feel like AMZ's I think AMZ also is gonna pop off too, and Scar, as long as AMZ and Rambo pop off, Scar should also pop off. So all around this team actually is pretty underrated. It's just that with the rest of the competition, I don't know how well they'll do. Their best game might be Sky Battle, or might be some other team game, maybe Build Mart or Grid Runners, but otherwise this team is very well rounded and definitely could have a pop-off event, or they could struggle a little bit, but otherwise I think they'll do pretty well. So I'll say around like 6th, 7th, 5th, around that range, like middle of the pack maybe, could be higher, could be lower, but yeah, all around it's just a really good team. Next up we have the Orange Ocelots, with Krtzyy, Orange Juice, Mythical Sausage, and Smallishbeans, with Scott's method of 7,802. Great to see Joel back in the event after him last being in 29. Awesome to see Owen in his first Canon event since he's been in Rising and now Pride 23. Great to see him in his first Canon event. Sausage, he's coming back for his 3rd event in a row now, I think, or 2nd. I think it's 3rd. And we have Dave, of course, leading a team once again. He actually has a really good shot of doing well and placing like top 10, top 5 maybe. Joel is a very good secondary player, like one of the best in all of MCC right now, and I think he will have a great game, or a great event. And I think Owen is a really good 3rd player to have because he's gotten used to MCC with Pride 23, and he's played MCC a while before, and he knows a lot of stuff about Minecraft, so he can do really well. And I think he's actually a very good 3rd player to have on this team, especially with Sausage being the 4th player, and Sausage is pretty darn good at Minecraft. So I think all around this team is very well rounded, and I think they could definitely have a huge pop off, or they could do slightly below average because other teams can outperform them. Either way, I think this team still has a really good shot, and I'll probably put them in 4th place for right now. Their best game might be a team game, might be a PvP game, or might be a movement game. I don't know. This team actually could be low-key really good to get to the other side, or Battle Box. I don't know. They're gonna be good at a lot of games, I think. Next up, we have the Yellow YAKS, with Ant Venom, Solidarity, Fire Breath Man, and Gemini Tay, with Scott's method of 8,078. I actually think this team, it's not that strong really. It's kind of the nerf that Fire Breath Man deserved of getting because he's been doing so well lately. Jimmy coming off 1 million subs and could be, going into his S tier arc in MCC. I don't know. Maybe he gets motivated. Ant Venom actually is like trying to be really competitive in MCC lately. He's been grinding Ace Race. Well, I know he was a while ago. I don't know if he still is, but I think Ant Venom's going to be really competitive this event. And Gem, she just vibes well with most people. Like, majority of people Gem does really good with, so I think this team is no different. It's just that I don't think they have a really strong secondary player like a lot of other teams do. And so I also don't know if like the game order will really go in their favor, because I don't really know what game. Maybe Santa Time. This team could low-key be a pretty good Santa Time team. But other than that, I don't really know any other games that would really strongly sway in their favor. So I'm just going to say that this team will probably get bottom 5, maybe bottom 3. So right now I'll put them in like 8th, I think. I think that's kind of fair. I might be lowballing it, I don't know. But otherwise, a pretty cool team, I guess. Next up we have the LLAMAS, with Beckymon, Fruitberries, Impulse, and SB, with Scott's method of 7,978. Man, welcome back, SB. Been a long time coming. Been a while since he's been in MCC, and just so glad to see him back. I think last time we saw him, he was on 3 7th places in a row. He might have played once after that. I don't think so, but I think, yeah, last time we saw him, he had his 3 7s in a row. So that's an MCC record in itself because it's just cool and really consistent, but also him being on the same team with Fruit. I know Fruit hasn't been amazing as of late, especially in Season 3, but I think SB will really actually unlock Fruit's potential, especially with Becky and Impulse. Literally 2 of the best role players in all of MCC right now. Like, this team, seriously, I feel like people are kind of overlooking, but at the same time, I think a lot of people do see that this team could go really well, or could go a little bit under expectations. So right now, it's either like 3rd place or like 4th, around there, around kind of where I'm putting like orange or like red. But right now, I think I might highball it and put it into 3rd. Remember to check the comments down below, my pinned comment on my current rankings. And then I'll do my short, of course, with my final rankings. But check the pinned comment down below for my current rankings, because I actually don't know if I'm up with this team in 3rd. But right now, I think 3rd actually might be a pretty fair spot for this team. Next up, we have the Green GECKOS, with Dark Eyebrows, Elena XE, CPK, and Sapnap, with Scott's method of 8,353. Actually, a pretty decently strong team. I know Dark Eyebrows is usually a 4th or like 3rd really good player, like best player on a Block Wars team. I just don't know how well Block Wars will translate to MCC, because again, 2 very different events, but hopefully the transition will be pretty seamless and she'll do pretty well. Like, I think she can get anywhere from like 30th to 20th, anywhere in there. So I think she can do pretty well this event. And the Sapnap and CPK duo is, again, insanely cracked. Hopefully CPK can get back into the top 10 and maybe even get the 3rd win. I don't know. I think this team could do either really good or pretty average. Elena, again, brings really good vibes to every team she's on, so glad to see her back with Sapnap. And I think she's going to vibe pretty well with Dark Eyebrows. I mean, she's super friendly, and Dark Eyebrows is also pretty friendly from what I know, from what I've seen with her, Shane, and like that yellow team from that Block Wars event. I forget which one it was. But anyways, yeah. I think this team could do pretty well, so I'll say they get like 6th, 5th, like around there. Again, make sure to check the pinned comment for my actual or my current rankings, because right now I'm kind of just thinking off the top of my head. But I think they could either get like anywhere from 7th to 3rd. So right now I'll put them in like 7th, but I think that's a little bit lower. So I'll probably put them higher. But anyways, great team. Next up, we have the CYAN COYOTES, with Captain Gato, Captain Puffy, Captain Sparkles, and Captain Peru Shadoon, with Scott's method of 7,319. Wow, man, the CYAN captains did not see this one coming, but totally welcome this team. Love to see Shadoon as the leader of this team, with his captain buddies backing him up, because technically he's the only not real captain here, but for this event, we'll give him the captain title because he deserves it. But yeah, love to see how he's like kind of like Captain America. He has like a pride shield and like a flag, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, anyways, this team could have some pop-off games, probably in like movement or team games. But other than that, I don't think they'll have that much of a pop-off. So I think they'll actually do pretty like average or maybe below average. And yeah, I think they actually aren't that strong compared to a lot of other teams. So right now, I think I'll put them in like 9th. I really wish this team could be higher, but I don't think they're that strong. But it still is a pretty cool team. I mean, come on, you have all the captains on the same team. How cool is that? Next up, we have the AQUA AXOLOTLS, with Eret, Kara Corvus, Purpled, and Ragai Rocky, with Scott's method of 8,181. Now, this team, I did not see coming, to be honest. I kind of thought Purpled was going to get like benched this event because he's been in like the past, I feel like 5 or 6 events at this point. But still really cool to see him back on AQUA and still in the event. He probably will get benched for the next 2 events or the next event or 2. Anyways, but yeah, this is what I'm going to call it. The Purpled Rocky duo. I think that actually works pretty well. Comment down below what this duo should be named, but right now I'm going to call it the Purpled Rocky duo. I think that is a really cool duo name for this duo, and Eret and Kara on this team are really good role players to have. It's just that I don't think they have as strong Like, Ryguy is usually a good third player. He's never really been in the second player role that much, maybe back in Season 1. But in Season, 2 and now 3, he hasn't really been the secondary player. He's usually the third player. So it's going to be interesting to see how well he does as the secondary player. Hopefully, this team can pop off. I think they actually have a couple games that they can do pretty good in. Most of them are going to be movement. And if they get to dodgebolts, they got a really good shot because of how good Ryguy is. But otherwise, this team, still really cool. Hopefully they can do good. But right now, I think I'll put them in 8th. I don't think they're that strong, but they definitely could have some pop-off games and maybe even squeeze their way into dodgebolts. You never know. Next up, we have the Blue Bats with Red Velvet Cake, Shovel, Smager, and Wally Bear with Scott's Method of 8,153. Great to see Wally getting his S tier moment after getting literally 4th place with Purple last event. That was sick. Also great to see him teamed with Velvet again, because Velvet literally popped off hugely that last event. He got 15th or something like that. It was insane. And then of course Scott and Shelby back together again as a duo. Feel like it's been forever since we've gotten that duo, man. So great to see them back together as a duo. And yeah, this team overall is actually pretty well balanced, I would say. This MCC overall is really well balanced. Good job, Scott, as always. But this team actually is pretty darn I would say they kind of cover a lot of stuff. That Scott covers a lot of the knowledge based games and the team games like Grid Runners and Sands of Time. Wally, he covers, all the PvP and some of the movement games. Velvet, I don't know if Velvet's better at PvP than movement. I don't know. But I know Velvet's still a pretty underrated all-around well player. So overall, this team actually could do really well, or they could do pretty below average. Right now, I think around 7th, 8th, or 6th is a pretty fair spot for this team. But nonetheless, still a really cool team and pretty underrated. Next up, we have the Purple Pandas with PeteZahHutt, Tapel, Snifferish, and the Orion Sound with Scott's Method of 8,037. Wow, this team kind of unexpected, but at the same time, most teams are unexpected. So I'm gonna roll with this team, man. This team's pretty cool, dude. Not gonna lie. Love to see Ollie back in the event. Feels like it's been a little bit of a time in between now and when we've last seen him. Cool to see Harvey back after missing. Did he miss Pride? I don't think he missed. No, he was in Pride. But he missed the last 2 canon events or the last couple canon events. So great to see him back in a canon event. And Pete, the man himself, he's here. I don't think we've seen the Tapel and Pete duo before. I don't think we have. So yeah, comment down below some duo names for Tapel and Pete, guys, because that's gonna be cool. And yeah, overall, pretty decently strong team. This team actually is going to do really well in Hole in the Wall, I feel like. This team is actually going to get first place in Hole in the Wall. You got Pete, the man himself, 3 Petes. You got Ollie, who's actually pretty decent in movements. And Harvey can do really well when it comes to movements most of the time. And Sniff just like Elena and like a lot of other players. Sniff brings really good vibes to this team, and I know she's teamed with Harvey before. I don't think she's teamed with Pete or Ollie before, but nonetheless, great to get to know each other, and yeah, overall, pretty cool team. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Pink Parrots, with Gucky, H-Bomb, Sneak Snag, and Tubbo, with Scott's Method of 7,897. Dude, I'm calling this team entertainment, baby, because that's what they're going to be. This team's going to be very entertaining to watch. I mean, this is going to be kind of funny, man. But this team could pop off. If Tubbo has his game in time, and if Gucky, I don't know much about Gucky. I know did she play in, no, was she in Pride? She was either in Pride or she was in Block Wars. I don't know. I think she was in Block Wars. But I think I gave Gucky Ginelli's average. I don't know how good Gucky is, but she might be pretty good. I don't know. But we have H-Bomb as the leader here, which works out pretty well. Cool to see him on a pink team for once that's not Block Wars. And yeah, Sneak and Tubbo are really good, secondary and third players to have on your team. I mean, yeah, they're really good. So hopefully this team can pop off and do pretty well. But they probably won't. They'll probably struggle a little bit, I feel like. But anyways, I think this team could either do really well or really bad. Either way, still cool team, and their best game probably gonna be Santa Time. Sneak really likes it, Tubbo really likes it, Gucky you probably really like it, and H-Mom of course is the man when it comes to Santa Time. Anyways, guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and comment down below your favorite team for this MCC and who do you think is going to win, and also comment down below your team predictions. Anyways, that's been Ripcord for today, and yeah, peace.